I am Debra Ann Matthews, and welcome to my channel. Thank y'all for being with me. Honey, my channel is called Lose Weight With Me. For those of us who have knee pain, back pain, chronic pain, obesity, overweight, and morbid obesity. Do you know there are 100 million people just like me and you in this country who are obese and overweight? And it's also an epidemic in all Western countries, Australia, the UK, even in Africa, which I was very surprised. I don't know why. I think of Africa as the motherland being perfect. They have people who are overweight also. Even though I've been to Ghana, I saw one person who was big when I was there. But I don't know. But I'm saying it is an epidemic. So this issue is way bigger than us. So my name is Debra Ann Matthews. Please come in, comment, like, and subscribe, and tell another friend. I would love for you to work on your weight like I'm working on mine in your own way. The things that I say is first and foremost on my channel, no negative talk, no telling me about your horror stories, only faith filled success. Now, we can talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. Good morning, good evening, Michelle, in a way that still gives you the power to continue to excel. And so I'm excited. Guess what I thought about as I was logging in? I thought about I'm currently working on my 200th pound. I'm still in the 400s, and I'm really excited just thinking about that. Because, like everybody else who did lose weight or tried to lose weight or did anything with their weight, it's kind of unbelievable. But guess what? It's happening. It's happening right now. And I like to say, this is my bedpost. I'm sitting in the bed, okay? I'm losing weight right in this bed. Now, so that's why I want you to give yourself grace. And I want you to, what's going to fuel your, hey Janetta, what's going to fuel your weight loss is your goals. What do you want to do? So I'm a part of April Mason's All Things Feminine group. I've been a part for a long time, maybe 5 years. And what happened, the first thing that happened, they took a wine tour. They went on a bus and they went on a wine tour. Hi, Usman. And I was like, I want to go. But, my knees were hurting and I was, I can't move that much. And I'm all Debra Matthews. And one day, and y'all know I'm on disability. I had to leave my job. So one day, they were going to Sarasota. And I had said the year before, I said, you know what? Thank you. I am going to take a vacation. And the trip was like in April or May. And by February, I had the money to go. And baby, I took my wheelchair and I went to Sarasota. Hi, Iris, with the group. And when I walked, and we stayed at the Ritz Carlton. And when I walked in, they gave us champagne. It was just so, wonderful. And we went on a yacht. And baby, I was like, I'm going to be in my wheelchair. Can I reach it? I had to walk, thank you, Janetta, up the steps in the yacht. And I would do one activity a day and just kind of stay in the hotel and order dinner because I couldn't do that much. And we had roommates because the rooms were like $3,000 or $4,000 a night. And I just thank God for the roommates who participate, who stayed with me. We shared a room, and I needed a lot of mobility help. But baby, the like the people who guard the place, they helped me. I was like, turn around. Now give me your hand. Reach your hand out while I get into bed. Because, when you get into bed, you raise your shirt up so your booty can get on the floor. So you don't want nobody to see no free picture of your booty. And then the housekeeping staff and one girl and we keep in touch right now. I give her job leads and everything. She saw that my knees were hurting, so she just started rubbing my knees, and I just took a picture of her and showed my sister. She was like, my mom's like you, my grandma's like you. So she works in the US and then sends money home. And the manager of the housekeeping, she was like, can I help you with something? I'm like, because we had to get dressed. And I'm like, yeah, I need help with. She was like, can I help you get to the shower? Can I help you? I was like, the more you keep asking me, can you help me? The more it's going to be yes. And it was just heaven sent. And it was great. And that's why April Mason, she teaches us that feminine women don't have a shortage of things that they need. So I'm going to have to tap into my femininity because Miss Deborah's a little bit broke in 2024. So I got to get my mind right. Okay. Have y'all heard that blues song called Get Your Lie Right? Get Your Lie Straight? Miss Deborah has to get her mind straight. So I'm going to actually read to you. This is in addition to the things I shared with you this morning that I had to share about this journey. I'm going to read to you my our encouragement, which I think it will help you as well. So hold on. Oh, thank you, Jeanette. So let the people know. Comment, like, and subscribe. Oh, y'all, they have this thing that you can write to Santa Claus. It's due tomorrow. And baby, I done wrote my letter to Santa Claus. And the people who want to, they'll get them and give you gifts. Baby, I done wrote my letter to Santa Claus. And I put a picture for him. I'm going to send him a picture of me, too. Don't tell me about writing no letter because Miss Deborah going to do it. You know my business is called Let Me Write It For You. And I wrote one for my friend also who needs help. Who had the stroke twice. I told you about that. So, check this out. And I think that this should resonate. I don't know. I might have some strong black women in this group. I don't know. But I don't consider calling me strong a compliment. Do not call me strong, honey. I ain't trying to be strong. Okay. So let me read this to you. I just want to remind you that your softness is not weakness. I know that this time of year can come with a bundle of emotions, but your softness is one that should be here to stay. Your softness allows you to navigate challenges with compassion, extend empathy to others, and remain true to yourself in a world that often asks for conformity. This is the beauty of your feminine power. And we can talk about that if that resonates with my audience. We can definitely talk about that. A lot of times in these YouTube streets, you see people who look picture perfect and like ladies, but they don't really act so much like ladies because it's not deep in them. And you don't have to be a man to be in a man's world. You can just be who God made you to be. And that's part of listening to your intuition, listening to your instincts, and it's also a part of um, doing your weight loss your way because you are a woman, and when you get reintroduced to your true nature, you're going to be able to eat when you've had enough and stop when you're slightly full and comfortable, because a feminine lady doesn't eat her way through her life. And so it's just going to be something that you'll learn the more you practice it, just like everything else. And I get tickled because um, I have my electric my electric skillet here, honey. I'm cooking one meal at a time right in my room. I have a full kitchen, okay, but Miss Beverly don't feel like all of that. So and I'm doing it my way because I'm getting results, and that's why I don't really let people tell me don't unless I ask you. Don't give me your recommendations because God has endowed us. Well, the Constitution says we have born with unalienable rights as human beings, and we have to tap into that. This society has taken that away from us. So let me take a sip right quick. Another thing I learned is that, have y'all ever taken an etiquette class? Women, feminine ladies shouldn't drink out of bottles. We should get water bottles. So, we're working on that. We're working in progress. So, anywho, here's how to nurture your softness. Here's some ideas. And these came from April Mason, so these are not my words, but they're pretty good. It says, as you prepare for 2025, consider how you can lean into this strength. And we're already leaning into our weight loss. We're already leaning into our new vision for our wellness. We're leaning into being nutritious, being healthy, being strong. We're leaning into that right now. Softness doesn't mean you say yes to everything. It means approaching life with grace and intention. That is amazing and so beautiful. Even when you're setting boundaries, and that's very much a part of this weight loss journey, especially for me being morbidly obese, and probably for you too, because there's something wrong with our ability to set appropriate boundaries. So here are a few tips to nurture your softness. Create moments of emotional stillness. Give yourself permission to feel and process without judgment. Thank you. I am not strong, Iris. I don't like to be called strong. Strong gives black women too much of a Hercules identity. And so maybe we can use another word. Let's something, let's work on that. I'm gonna ask us to work on another word other than strong. And you have to kind of look at it from a historical perspective. We have less, anyway, we'll talk about that another time, but we'll come up with some good words. But I appreciate what you're saying, Iris. Thank you. Okay. Practice self kindness. A lot of people, especially as women, do not give ourselves credit for what we do. We will specialize in speaking about our shortcomings, and we know that God wants us to speak faith filled positive words. He wants us to, the Bible says, to be like the women of old who were beautiful, not because of how they looked, they were beautiful because they put their faith and trust in God. And all of these little bitty scriptures that we quote sometimes, we have to learn how to put them all together. Put them all together. And so it says, speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend, especially on days when you feel heavy. And this time of year, this is the time. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, all that drama. I'm in the handicap group, and I posted there. Okay, let's practice how to prepare for loneliness. And so I always keep myself busy, but in my heart, I know that I'm okay. I'm actually going to be courageous. I talked to my friend. I always can go spend my holiday with them. Sometimes I go, sometimes I don't. It's this whole mobility ordeal, and not that the nephews didn't pick me up, and honey, they picked me up. You hear me? They're like, oh, Deb, we got you. However, it's still mobility, and it's just a thing. However, I'm stronger, so I said, okay, I'm coming, and I have a manual wheelchair that's in the trunk. It's very heavy, but it's in the trunk of my car. So, okay, I'm gonna go. So that's just what I'm gonna do. So be sure to practice. Give yourself grace. I'm gonna tell you something. Even when I was when my habits were poor, when I couldn't get a grip on my eating, I still exercised every day. Matter of fact, I've been exercising for 27 months. I'm pretty sure the first year I ain't lose no weight. I might have, but I struggled a lot because I still was eating whatever I wanted to eat, however I wanted to eat it. And I actually don't even remember. I can't even remember 27 months ago because I wasn't focused on faith filled positive words and keeping up with it. I would be so heartbroken because I knew that deep in my heart I was eating. And honestly, I had really good, back then, I had a really good home care worker who cooked for me good food. We cooked together sometimes. Sometimes, like once a week, we cooked together. So I'm pretty sure I was losing weight, but think about, I can't even remember then. And I mean, it was just 20, like 15 months ago. I can't remember that. And I also didn't feel empowered. And I think that things take time. So and in my own way. And that's why I tell you in your own way. Because I was actually lifting my legs and my body up and scoot back a little bit, and I grabbed the towels like they were right here. And I remember when I could go to the end of my bed and use only my legs and climb in the bed. I can do that, but I never go down there. I never go anywhere except right here in my room. So I'm going to give myself grace. I'm thinking about maybe folding clothes up over there and maybe walking around the room. I'm working on that. But if I don't do that, I'm just going to get them, go exercise and go about my business and get my clothes right there and call it a day. You've got to give yourself grace. every day, and especially in your journey. And that's one of the reasons why I actually was going to cover my hair up today, but I was like, well, you're going to love your hair. Okay. But I grew up where you would never see my hair looking like this as a child, as a young adult, to look, throw it away. This is considered throw it away. But I know now we black is beautiful now and we're loving our nappy hair. If my mother saw me on YouTube my hair like this, she'd say something. She has been watching my videos, or I'll send her a picture, but of course I'm not gonna send my mother a picture when I'm not put together. Because we just were raised better than that. And honestly, I have to say this because I know y'all strong black women are not gonna admit it. And I mean that with my white women too. Y'all be strong too, throwing your bras off, having a fit. Y'all do all the most. I think deep down I was sad. So I'm just like, look, I'm not doing any. I'm taking it all off. So I'm putting lipstick on, and I got some lip liner. So I'm gonna slowly begin to put makeup on as I get my life back. But I tell you, it was really hard when I stood up yesterday from my wheelchair into the dining room and walked to the laundry room and walked back when my knees started hurting. It wasn't hard, but it was hard. I mean, it wasn't hard. I could do it. Then I could stand for when I'm about 8 minutes, my knees start hurting. But what makes them hurt is when I get scared. So when I tell you that what I'm demonstrating to you as I'm talking to you is how to um, increase mental strength. And so my brother just says, do it. I'm like, brother, how do I do it? Just do it. But I'm not wired like that. I have to feel good, cushion my brain. Now, when I showed y'all I'm standing up there with my ortho is fine. Okay, I mean he is fine. I'm like, hold this out. I mean, he's not flirty or nothing. He's just fine. He's just a good looking former ex football player, and he really cares about me. He when he was saying to me at first, he used to be like, I want you to get the weight loss surgery. I was like, I'm not doing that. And he was going on and on. I was like, what's your name again? His name is Josh. I was like, Josh, I'm not doing that, so let's stop talking about it. So then, he would see me he'd see me at the YMCA. Even he said Tuesday, he said, I see you working out. Like he see me, but I don't see him because Miss Debra be what? In her own world doing what? Minding her own black business. So for him to know that he's seeing me in there working out all the time, because he's like, I see what you're doing because I see you at the gym. So as we began to work together, at one point I was losing weight. Then at another point I stopped. I wasn't motivated. I was eating. So he was like, I'm gonna give you 6 months to lose 30 pounds, or you're getting weight loss. So that's kind of how he just said that to me. And then the other time we were just talking, and he was like, okay, this shot right here finna hurt real, 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 real bad. And I started screaming like, why you didn't, why? I'm like, that hurts. So what was funny is, like, now when I went to get my knee shots last week, he was like, this is gonna hurt. And I'm gonna tell you, when he made me scream, I mean, I was crying. I'm gonna tell your wife what you did to me. I told her too. I was like, he made me cry. But when I went for this time, when I went to get my knee shots, I didn't even cry. I was like, I'm videoing him doing my knees. Because part of it is, and I think it's too because I'm a middle girl, and I think it's also because I'm lonely. I mean, I'm just going to honor that. And I mean lonely as in intellectual stimulation. When I used to date Moses, part of the reason that he would drive, 14 hours to see me or take my call after a hard day's work, and my friend said this, by the time you raise your children and they're gone, adults desire to have conversations with other adults. It's either your friends who have children, they got to get them off. They got to pay for all that stuff for high school, for college, get them situated, get their first apartment. So their mind is on all of that. And those of us who don't have kids, we crave, I mean, they have like their spouse to talk to. And we crave just regular interaction. So that's what I mean. Like, I miss Moses saying, Miss Matthews, when will I see you again? Or I miss me calling him up with a bright idea of where we can go next. And he'd be like, I don't know about that. Anything I ever said, and this is something I can appreciate about a man, he is not going to be quick to say yes to whatever you say. Because, ladies, we know we got what, 50, 11 things we want to do. I'm like, Moses, we got to go take a black and white old school picture. 50, 1100 things. Moses, can we meet in Raleigh? Can we meet in Virginia? Can we meet in Tennessee? Can we meet at the whatever? He's like, he was like, I don't know how much it costs. I was like, I have it to you in 24 hours. And then he don't want to pay more than 125 a night for a hotel. One time, he was like, we're going to stay in a travel lodge. I looked at him. I was like, oh, so now I'm a travel lodge kind of girl? He was like, we can go back over to the other hotel. Thank you very much. Can you imagine? Me being a travel lodge kind of girl. That's like me being a Motel 6 kind of girl. Okay? Just because it's cheaper. Who cares? So, anywho, I say that because you've got to give yourself grace. That's why you have to keep dreaming. And another dream is, I have a friend we exercise with in the pool, and he's a classic jazz artist. And he said, I'm going to start a classic jazz band because there's a new jazz group in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, a new jazz club. And then there's one here in Clarksville too. They're playing tonight, but I'm not going to go. I just found out. So that's another goal that I can set. Okay, Deborah, you're going to start driving your car, walking in, have a seat at the jazz venue. So it's from 5 to 9. So it's not that late at night. At 5 o'clock it's dark. Ooh. How about I stay from 5 to 6? So Miss Deborah got to get home. I can't be out in them streets at late at night because it's really dark out. But anywho, that gives me another goal to set to live my life because I like jazz. And also I told him, I said, I want to sing. He said, okay, you start working on, I said, like start working on classic jazz songs. Ella Fitzgerald's, Nancy Wilson, Carla McRae. I'm a jazz. So I'm like, look, that's a goal. Because what am I have to do when I sing? Stand. What am I going to do when I sing? Walk. What am I going to have to do when I sing? Have good posture. So you've got to give yourself grace. And then the last thing that a lady does is she extends grace to others. Recognize that empathy doesn't diminish your strength, but magnetizes it. So, and not only are we writing in our journal when I write with Michelle, but April has always asked us to write in our journal and get connected with our feminine selves. So that's pretty exciting. So I wanted to share that with y'all. Now at 6:30, we're going to be interviewing also Stephanie Poinier. She lost 100 pounds. So I'm going to hurry up so I can chillax before that interview. But I want to share this stuff with y'all because it's simply awesome. So y'all can put your favorite songs in there if you want to. Oh, this is what I wanted to share with y'all. Okay, check this out. Wake up, everybody, because it says wake up. No more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking. Time for thinking ahead. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When we teach our children, teach them the very best you can. Hey. So this comes from Label Readers. And it talking about the different labels of turkey. And this also can, and chicken too probably, but particularly turkey. So when it says all those terms like natural, antibiotic free, responsibly raised turkey, cage free, free range or free roaming, organic and fresh. So and then pasture raised and regenerative. Part of the problem that my coach often gets on me about, because I'm like, Coach, it's Coach, it says low fat. Coach, it says no sugar. He's like, okay, Deborah, that's marketing. Marketing is on the front. Go to the back and read the label. So I'm good for that. I'm like, Coach, I got this new thing. And then once I listen to another lecture, that's why I no longer drink um, zero sugar beverages because it's just chemicals. So I just drink some water. How many of y'all drank out the water hose? Now, girls really couldn't drink out the water hose, but every now and then, if our brother might have been drinking out the water hose, he might let us drink a little bit, but we really couldn't drink out the water hose. And so, I think about that. Yeah, I wouldn't go back there and turn the water hose on anyway because we had these big old bushes with these big old leaves on them, and all those leaves were always wet, and I used to think they were snake spit. So I just knew it was some snakes behind them bushes, and Miss Deborah was not trying to understand that life. Plus, when we lived in an apartment, there was a snake in the window, and my brother found it, and my dad came over and got it. So, anywho, so let me share that with y'all right quick. With this is these topics, okay. So it says, odds are you are enjoying Thanksgiving. I like to read. Do y'all mind me reading? I'm just reading to y'all like y'all kids. I'm sorry. But I think this is information. And what happens is the more information you get in your brain, the more it's going to help you with your weight loss. It's going to give you something to hold on to. It's going to give you some, it really is. I don't know. It just works that way. I don't know how it does. I just know that it does. So, 46 million Americans consume turkey on this holiday. I'm not going to read all that to y'all. So let's just talk about these topics. When the turkey says natural, that's minimally processed with no synthetic or artificial ingredients. Some may be injected with salt or a solution. You would have to research the company. Likely these are not organic, so I would avoid this option. So this writer is saying if it says natural turkey, avoid that option. Okay. So this is another one. Antibiotic free. This says antibiotic free was not given antibiotics in its feed, water, or by injection. Keep these in mind. While no antibiotics claims are generally reliable, verification isn't required. So a company can put antibiotic free even though they gave it some antibiotics. Okay. Testing usually reveals antibiotics in meat. You should know that the farmer, you should know the farmer to know if they use antibiotics or not. So in other words, they can say whatever they want to say and put that on them. Okay, here's another title. Responsibly raised turkey. It absolutely means nothing. Companies make up this term and it is pure selling tactic. Okay, it's a pure selling tactic. You would have to contact the company and ask, what do you mean by this? This sounds like they pimping. Don't y'all feel a little pimp there? Like a little pimps on the corner? This is basically what they doing. Okay. Check this one out. Oh my goodness. Cage free. This is a sales tactic. No turkey can be raised in a cage. So again, the company is trying to make it look healthy, but really all are raised outside of cages. You know how they do. You know how the man do. You know how the man do. You okay? Okay, I gotta sing a song. Why you wanna treat me so bad? Prince had it right. When you know I love you. See how they treat us in the kind of way. Range free or free roaming. This means that turkeys have a door and maybe a pasture somewhere with the opportunity to go roam. How long do they roam and can they actually roam year round depending on the location? It's a bit sketchy term. Really means nothing. See how they do us? This does not tell you which type of food the bird is eating, so ignore turkeys with this label only. Organic, regulated by USDA standards. What organic does well is keep funky chemicals out of your food, like herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides. This is the next best label to look for if you cannot find a pasture. Keep in mind that small local farms sometimes do not have USDA organic for financial or limiting processing reasons. They often will have organic birds but not pay the price to have the label. And that is true. That is true. Fresh never has been stored below 26 degrees. If they are stored below zero, they must be labeled frozen. This is a taste preference, or it tastes better. It tastes a particular way. Okay, so this is another one. Pasture raised and regenerative. This is actually how a turkey should live, roaming outside in a beautiful green pasture, digging for bugs, insects, and worms. However, companies use this term similar to cage free. It means they have a pasture somewhere. It may be a tiny patch of grass next to a dying field, and they may or may not ever make it there. So the only way to know, in fact, if the turkey is pasture raised, you got to talk to the farmer, do the research, ask the questions. It says, luckily, you got Wake Up, me, prying farmers and asking questions. So this website is called Wake Up. It's called Jenny Smiley's Label Letter. So she just tells you different things. I saw this in my email, and I think it's very good because we don't know what these definitions are. And it's really a shame. It's really a shame. Okay. So now we're going to get to the other things I wanted to share. This is just an extra thing that I wanted to share. One of the goals for my weight loss, and I'm going to be about 15 more minutes late. I'm going to not go beyond 45 minutes because we got to come right back at 6:30. And I think this is such a good goal for me, especially because I'm kind of like that. Hi, Danny. Don't let anyone bait you into letting them move you around emotionally. I have always said to you that as an morbidly obese woman, that I have emotional issues. And I dare say that you have emotional issues also. Okay, y'all know how, actually, when I have my legs sitting here, it makes my legs start to hurt. So I have to flip over. Hold on. So, time to grow food like Papa, buy a cat. Okay? Because I've seen somebody on the internet, they were feeding their pig vegetables. And God did say, don't call what he now made clean. Don't call pig unclean anymore. Because in the U.S., I don't know what they feed the pigs. But my mama said they used to put the pigs up and put them aside before they got ready to cut them. But I've seen somebody on the internet feeding the pigs vegetables, carrots and vegetables and things like that. So if you feed a pig good stuff, it's going to be good stuff. And I saw a post today. They don't have me going over to Hong Kong. They said that Hong Kong people live long because they change their food based on the weather. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. So, hey, we are learning every day. Can you imagine me being in Hong Kong? Oh, my goodness. When I'm weighing 180 pounds over in Hong Kong eating the food, hanging out. Okay. Hold on, my legs start so I have to turn over. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I turn over on the side. And that way, I can take the pressure off that knee. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. It feels good when you lay on your side and lay on that knee like that after a while. This is what little kids do. They be putting their hand on their imagination. I wanted to turn that light on, but my reacher is not that strong, so I couldn't get it to reach. So that's okay. We're going to do, I don't know what I do with my cell phone holder. Y'all know I lose that thing every couple of days, but that's okay. This is what I'm telling y'all. You do not have to be perfect. I wish I was YouTube perfect. I wish that my house was YouTube pretty. My house is pretty, but whoa. That's one spot. My house is pretty, but I mean, I wish it was all organized. It is organized mostly and clean in the living room, in the dining room, in the kitchen, and in the bathrooms. It's just my room looked like a tornado ran through it, and my office is not set up. I'm thinking about putting a chair in my room until I can get my weight down and then get my office set up. So anywho, that makes my knee feel better. I can still sit up. So let's talk about this. Okay. Don't let anyone bait me into letting them move me around emotionally. That is, now that I really understand what that means, I try to stay cool, calm, and collected, but sometimes it's not. I fail. Okay. So the commentator, and I seen this on somebody else's YouTube short, it was so positive. She says, I have self-control because I know who I am in Christ. In Galatians 5:22, y'all know this one, it's an old favorite. And it talks about the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, kindness, patience, God, goodness, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. That's where coming in, breathing. And when you breathe, you think about your goals. Or you can think about one thing. Oh, sometimes I'll be thinking about 200 pounds. I'm just like 218 to be exact. That's what I'm working on no matter what. I'm working on 218. And so that's a goal. So I was talking to I was listening to Mike Tyson. I saw something he wrote. He said, you have to train your mind to be stronger than your feelings or else you will lose. And so that is amazing. And that's such an amazing goal. And that's where your feminine self comes in, where you're behaving with empathy. And you just remain like a cucumber. You remain cool, calm, and collected. So I saw another nurse. She calls herself Kidney Nurse Meritt. And she's from Africa, but I don't know if she's in the US or the UK. But I think she's in Africa because she was talking about 10 or 11 things to stop doing to help you with your kidney health. And I thought that was so important because I'm realizing that all they're doing is setting us up to put us on kidney machines and put us on dialysis and make us go to the kidney treatment center and have us loaded down with all of these pills. And I think that before you get to that point, it's okay to discuss that. And that's why I quickly stopped taking those Purinols, because my doctor was like, I was like, why do I have to take? He said, because you have gout. But that don't tell me why I have to take them. I'm not a child. You should, and Dave Ramsey taught us this, you should understand everything you're doing with your money and each and everything you're doing, period. And my knee doctor was like, well, let's just stop taking them and see how it goes. If my joints start hurting, okay, then we can take them. But it's a preventative medicine. I've been taking it for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. So let's stop taking them and see what that does, because I haven't been eating any processed meats in like 2 or 3 months, and it'll be 4 months by the time January gets here. If I have to stop eating processed meats like sausages and bacon, that's fine. If that's going to mean I'm not going to have gout and my toes aren't going to hurt, then that is going to be perfect. I'm going to definitely be on board with that, because I would rather be healthy than to be hurting when I can eliminate a food group. Chicken and fish is going to be if I can, I like to eat hamburger meat, but hamburger meat is red meat. So I may not be able to eat that red meat. Maybe once you get your weight down, like I give these extra nuts I can't eat to my trainer, because she's not in weight loss mode. She's in building up and endurance mode. That's the thing that I was listening to this morning. It talks about, the lady was saying the guy told her to lift her body weight, because when you lift your body weight as you're losing weight, you still want to be strong enough to hold your weight, because you carried that weight. So for instance, I'm in the 400. So if I start work up to being able to lift 400 pounds, as I'm losing weight, I still want to be strong enough to bench press 400. So that made sense to me. That's the thing that we're working on, that I want to encourage you to do. I'm doing reading, researching, exercising, going for trainings. We have a nutrition seminar that they're going to have for us at the Y. Also, a body composition seminar. All of these things we do because it's going to help us in our journey. Gives us something to think about. I know my BMI is big, a high number, but maybe there are some areas that have improved. But I won't ever know that if I don't take the assessment, and it's free. So, Miss Debra is what about that free? So let's look at these tips, and I'm gonna just, this really feels good on my knee. Let's look at these tips that people are giving us. This lady, her name is Kidney Nurse Meritt. She's giving us to help with kidney health. And I think this is so positive, especially those of you who have body pain, joint pain, aches. If you have mysterious pain, you don't know where it's coming from, you have to start eliminating foods to see what makes you feel better. Because the way we feel is based on what we eat, what we drink, and rest. And so the first thing she says is to drink water. Makes perfect sense. The second thing she says is to avoid energy drinks because those energy drinks damage your organs and it damages your heart. Makes sense. The third thing that she drinks is to try not to take beverages. That's how I know she from Africa, because the way she phrases things, she says, try not to drink beverages like Fanta. Fanta is very big in Africa. But take water because sodas cause kidney stones. And y'all remember when we were growing up, we didn't drink soda. We made Kool-Aid, homemade lemonade like that. My mother didn't buy us soda. And for good reason. Soda costs a lot of money. Limit red meat. People go, oh, let's go out and have a big fat steak. Limit it. That's not ultimately the best thing for your health. And another thing, this was really interesting. So I know it's a lot of rich people in Africa. Y'all don't know that because you probably haven't been to Africa or you don't watch things to show you African people. But African people are very prosperous people. They're not a people who minor in poverty. So one suggestion she's saying is don't mix alcohol with red meat. So that also is bad for your kidneys. Oh, now this is something that I didn't realize was big in Africa, but I guess it's big everywhere. No vaping. She said, or don't even stand near somebody else who's vaping because those fumes get into your body as well. And she's talking about checking your blood pressure. And then she says, check your blood pressure, check your sugar levels. And so, see, that's black. When you say sugar, that means diabetes. And go to see a nephrologist. That's the type of doctor that you would go to, a nephrologist. And then she talks about get enough sleep and exercise. And then she talks about giving your life to God. Now, you're not going to hear a lot of doctors tell you to give your life to God. So that's how I know she's in Africa. And she says, stop keeping urine in your bladder. Now, that's an interesting one. Basically, if you have to go to the bathroom, go. I think these are such good reminders of good health because anything that helps us to remember that our organs are precious. They are truly precious. And I am just so happy y'all have been with me this long, these 45 minutes. I thank you so much. Continue to comment, like, and subscribe. So this Sunday, we're going to have an interview with someone who lost 100 pounds. And hopefully next Sunday, we're going to have an interview with someone who was in her 400s and who lost a lot of weight. And so when I tell you we are excited to get that inspiration and to get that message, and I want y'all to join us. Comment, like, and subscribe. Super chat won't hurt either. But definitely when you come back and you have questions, put them in the comments and we will get those questions answered, okay? So thank y'all. See y'all in a little bit. Peace and hair grease. Bye.